As this you, sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Okay, I see. And then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the royal prince, millionaire, world traveler, victim.
That's right.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd use my 3 brain cells, give them a bit rubbed together and talk you through some marketing theory. Now this is something I used to do way back in the day, so bear with me. But it's an interesting concept to go through the 7 P's of marketing, because Harry and Meghan will be, as a brand, I don't think everyone appreciates how completely and utterly screwed they are. Absolutely done. Absolutely done in. So the 7 P's are place, price, promotion, people, process, physical evidence, and product. So we're going to start off with price, and we're going to go clockwise around. So first off, place. Where do they locate it at? Well, they have to do a lot of their stuff online. A lot of their media strategy, a lot of their sales point, why they are who they are, is done through the media, done through social media. They have a website presence. The website presence isn't updated very often. They have no social media other than Omid Scabies and that boozy dude who are out there like repping for them, and that Miss Nissan Harryman or something. And they are their vocal supporters. That's it. That's all they've got. And they're not actually affiliated with them. So there is nowhere for the public to go and look and see brand Harry and Meghan. Even when they've been offered platforms from Netflix and from Spotify, they've spaffed it up the wall. So there's nowhere to go. There's the book, there's this, but there's nowhere to go and find out information. They've got a website, that's it. There's no Twitter, there's no Instagram, there's no Facebook, nothing. So as a brand, there's no way that the public can interact with them, because there's nowhere for them to be seen. They hate the press. They don't do interviews unless it's very curated and they know the questions. So yeah, placed, there is nowhere for them. They've made it like that though, because they're hostile towards everything. So papers, no, not where they would like it. Price. Now, they started off with a lot of hype. They started off with big numbers. They left the UK. According to Spotify and people who have talked in the industry, they were gobsmacked that Harry turned around and said how he dealt with Oprah was he needed money for security, so he just took money for that from the Oprah interview. Previously, Harry had denied that, but that's a different story. Price. Overinflated. Their price now has hit rock bottom. They had it all. Absolutely everything. And they've made a massive loss on it. They created the high stakes, and they didn't live up to performance. Now, the reason I say that, they've completely devalued their brand. They've completely devalued all of it by their behaviour, how they interact with companies like Spotify, like Netflix, who are offering them a lot of money to perform, and they're not performing. There is nothing to perform, because their whole shtick has been that they are Harry and Meghan in the royal family with the whatever. The price is dropped. People aren't going to... They're a novelty experience. They're a novelty act. People... No. It's a novelty. It's done. People overpaid. No, they're not going to see that kind of money again. Ever. They're done. Unless they have... I'll talk about how they could possibly rebrand, but I doubt they will do this. Anyway, I will get that. Promotion... They are puritanical. there's two things. They're puritanical. They're very, very preachy, extremely preachy. They are holier than thou. They have, like I've said, they have no social media presence. Everybody is on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or TikTok. Everywhere. They have no presence there. Not at all. You've got the rest of the royal family are all on the social media. I mean, maybe, yeah, they are. They're all on. There's YouTube, there's TikToks, there's loads of stuff. Harry and Meghan, nowhere to be seen. Why? Because they can't stand the interaction. They actually don't want to interact with you. They want to appear to be very woke and your best friend and very informal, just have a little chat, but they are snobs. And the reason you can tell they're snobs is because they have absolutely no social media. They don't want to mix in with the hoi polloi. They'll say it's because it's trolling. It's really because they can't tolerate a difference of opinion. That's what that is. Another thing they've done with promotion that they've completely scuppered themselves with is this whole we hate the media. Let's go against the media. Let's attack the media. Their whole brand is based on what the media writes about them. What they've done is believed all the good press actually believed it, and with the bad press, they've just took it as a criticism. They believe their own hype, but then if you criticize them, then it's everyone else's fault. It's really, really weird place to be. Very weird place to be. They don't react to criticism well. Their whole shtick is being media personalities, as being famous, and they just don't interact with that at all. They have nothing to give, I guess. Now, let's move on to people, because this is a very interesting one. So, I'm going to talk about how they interact with people. Now, these two are the brand. They are the brand, if you know what I mean. Their personalities. You have got how they interact with people. Well, they leave a trail of destruction behind them. When they were over in the UK, they have got bullying allegations and a bullying investigation which was swept under the carpet to hide away some embarrassment by Buckingham Palace. That bullying accusations was released by Valentine Lowe in his book Courtiers, and he discusses that in detail. And in Courtiers and in Revenge by Tom Bower, they go on to show that they behaved in unreasonable, entitled and often aggressive and demanding ways with the staff who were trying to help them and advise them. Now you have people who are advisors who are around them who will be trying to say, we need to do it this way, that way, for your own good, and they're unable to take on any criticism at all. So they just rebuff them all the time, and that's why Sussex Royal or the Sussex Foundation, I don't know what it was back then, had a high turnover of staff. That's why Prince William consciously uncoupled from them, and that's why everything split up, because they're demanding and they're difficult and it's just a nightmare, allegedly, whatever. And then we also have the people who are with them now. Now, the people who are with them now, they've also got a high turnover of staff. A very high turnover of staff. Within a year, and they're burnt out. Usually it's about 7 years someone stays within a job, and you have about 12 jobs in a lifetime on the average. But in a year, the Sussex Foundation, ArcuWell or whatever it's called, has a high turnover of staff as well. Seems to me it's a them problem, not the staff's problem. The staff who stay could well be people who are sycophants, who know not to rock the boat, who just will say what's need to be said, or basically get, I don't know, I couldn't do it. I'm sure there are better, braver women out there and men that would go into that lion's den and want to kind of advise them. I don't think they will take any advice whatsoever at all. So the public sees how they treat people near to them. Now you've got the issue with their staff, which is a high turnover, and the public will go, all right. But then you have a Spotify executive sitting out there and calling them entitled lazy... Wait, no, he didn't say entitled. Lazy effing grifters is what he said. Lazy effing grifters. And a lot of the public already think that. And the public go, whoa, well, if this guy who seems quite nice and personable and is quite funny and he's quite well, you know, he's obviously made his way up the ladder, and he's calling them grifters, we think there could be grifters. And then, of course, you've got the head of Jeremy Zimmer from United Talent Agency, the CEO of United Talent Agency, turning around and saying that they basically have no talent. It's basically what he said. And he's, you know, no surprise she's got no talent. So so people are calling them out. And then, of course, I just want to add their relationships with their family members. So we'll start off with Meghan's side of the family. There's only one family member she speaks to from her childhood, and that's her mother. That's it. Everyone else she's fallen out with or doesn't speak to. Oh yeah, and a niece that she's got that she doesn't have a niece that she has that her sister, you know, you get it. It's weird. She's weird. It's just like, I don't have a half sister, but I've got a niece. It's just like, what? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't math. What are you on about? That's ridiculous. Anyway, you've either got a sister or how can you have a niece if you don't? Anyway, and then we've got, of course, the royal family. So the Oprah interview came out in April 2021, and Prince Philip died then, a few days after. The Cut article came out in September or late August 2022, a week before the Queen passed, and then the Queen passed. They've done ridiculous things, been very separate, said all of this dross out there, and it just looks bad. They would have gone ahead with that Netflix. They would have went ahead with that Netflix and that stupid spare book. And the Queen, this 96-year-old woman who's really tried to help you, who you keep phoning up, is dying of bone cancer, and you're on her case all the time? Get out of here. Go on. And you were going to do all this to her? No. So, people, they create carnage. They've got a high turnover. Everybody thinks they're toxic, apart from a few people who think they're woke. So yeah, process. Now, what we have with them, the next P is process. This is their turning it around. They do not get any feedback, really. They can't get anything constructive. They're defensive. Everything's wrong. So when ITV interviewer challenged Harry in an interview and said, but you called the royal family racist, and he said, no, I didn't. I said it was unconsciously unbiased. You know, it's a difference. For God's sake. It was the British press who said that. Everything is everyone else's fault. So he doesn't take ownership. So there's no way in feeding back to them, they have no process because they cannot tolerate being criticized or being wrong. All they do is they throw something at the wall, like Netflix, that they're not really that invested in. Somebody else did all the legwork. Or they throw something at the wall, like Spare, which somebody else wrote. And they just kind of like, yeah, that'll do it. And and when it doesn't like hit right, it's somebody else's fault. They never fully commit to something because they don't want to be wrong and they don't want to invest in something. But that's no chance for feedback and growth. So they've got no understanding of how to be better, because all of those opportunities to help them build a brand, they do not have a feedback process. They don't understand. They think they know what's right because their egos tell them this is the easiest way, the path of least resistance, because they can't be bothered. They will go, I guess, and they might look at the newspapers and they might look at what's been said on social media. They might have burner accounts. They might go into the Daily Mail's comment section. Good luck with that. But they could do all of those things, and they probably do those things, but they don't do it for the ways it's processed. They don't say, well, wow, these people are really taking a dim view of me. I want to change that perception. No, they get offended and they try and find someone to blame for why this is being said about them. That's how they're doing it. So, the physical evidence. The physical evidence is there. They have got feedback. They don't want to take it. They're losing deals. They're losing money at this point. Netflix have publicly said, book your ideas up. Spotify have pulled back on the deal, dropped them, because they're not productive enough. Their polling ratings are through the floor. They're actually in the negative. At this point, they're so disliked, but they haven't got that process there, which feeds into the physical evidence. They will say, because they haven't got that process, they will say this physical evidence of me not being popular is this people's fault, is the Daily Mail's fault, it's King Charles's fault, it's Prince William's fault, it's I don't know, Piers Morgan's fault. It's one of those fault. It's somebody's fault. They will blame everybody but themselves. Because they are victims. Now, their product is actually themselves. People are interested in them. People are interested in who they are. They want to be seen as being holier than thou, Princess Diana 2.0, absolutely wonderful, wholesome victims. Super talented victims. South Park did an absolute number on them. Absolute number on them. They do not understand that everybody can see through them. They have got people around them that they still believe. They don't listen. They're not going to listen. It's just, I don't know why I'm doing this video. I'm just telling you the process. I don't think they would listen to me. I don't think they would listen to anyone. They wouldn't listen to the king. If they won't listen to the Queen of England, they won't listen to the King of England, then they're not going to listen to anybody because they're so entitled, which is wild to me. So the product is them. And they haven't got a clue who they are, because they are whoever they feel like they are at this moment in time, and they expect everyone else just to rock along with it. That's what they are like. They are shallow. You know, I just want to make sure I'm having this emotional shot with a Hermes blanket behind me. They are always flashing the bling, and everything is custom, and there's always these puff pieces, and so they just try and handle everything themselves. But they are so screwed because the product is interest. The product is them in relation to the royal family. All they've done is bash the royal family. So now they look like treacherous, whinging, entitled, spoilt brats. So they've took that victim and we had to run away from this evil empire. It was horrific. To we've got a multi-million-pound house and all we can do is whinge. Nobody in their right mind's going to take that. They just think they're daft. Absolutely daft. Now their product was themselves, and they've tried to sell themselves through Spotify, through Netflix, through books, and yeah, Harry's book sold, but he was universally laughed. He's made a fool of himself. Nobody's going to think, there's hardly anyone who could feel any sympathy for him. Meghan's got a book coming, apparently, and she's already written that nauseatingly bland book for kids about a bench. But they've had it all. They've had it all handed to them because of who they're associated with. They believed their own hype. And when they got criticism from the media, they didn't reflect on it. They just justified it to themselves and spaffed all of that goodwill, all of everything up the wall. They are done. They are toast. There's no way back. There is one way back. And that is playing up to the villain archetype. Oh my God, an archetype. They could, both of them, lean into what people don't like about them. They could lean into being, I don't know, like a pantomime villain. Or they could lean into taking the mick out of themselves. The only other thing that's left after that is reality TV. And that's hard work. The Osbournes worked hard up for what they got, and they still work hard. The Kardashians who came after really work hard. I mean, God, that's a lot of hard work. People think it's just switching your phone on and lying around looking fabulous. It's a lot more than that. A lot more than that. So, Harry and Meghan are screwed. They're not going to do any of that because they haven't got a feedback process. They haven't got the people around them. Their price is devalued. They haven't got anywhere for anyone to go to find out about their message. Their target audience is the young people. And South Fox did a job on that. So they are absolutely screwed. And that's not everything to do with this. And I'm not saying I'm an expert on marketing or anything like that. I'm just interested in it. But I do feel like, yeah, Harry and Meghan, they're gone. They're toast. They've got no brand unless they rebrand as some kind of celebrity reality TV, or unless they rebrand as some kind of pantomime villains or something. There is no way back. It's Instagram grifting or bust. There we go. All right, guys. Thanks very much for listening to me ramble on. I will love yous and leave yous, and I shall see you later. Bye, everyone.